Hello everyone, my name is Rodrigo, and in this video you will learn everything about the main item of Pipefy, the card, from what it represents on org structure until how to configure it in many different ways to get the most value from your process. Reminding that among the benefits, it stands out mainly the power of having all of the information about one item centralized, organized, and really visual so that you can manage your process. So what is a card? A card can be anything. It will really depend on your process. If you are working with a reimbursement process, each card will be a request for a refund. If you are working on a recruiting process, each card can be a candidate that applied for your opening. And if you are in a marketing team, for example, it can represent a demand for a job to be produced. So it will really depend on your process to see what the card represents. In this example, I will use a purchase process to explain for you all the details of a card. So here you are inside your pipe. There are many different ways to create a new card, such as the start form, which you can see right here. And you can also use public forms, email inbox, portals, automations, and so on. You can find more information on each of these options by looking at our help materials. Once the cards are created, they will be in one of the phases of your process in the way that you build them. And a very important point here is that if you open a card, it will have fields so that you can input information or files or anything. But the thing is, these fields belongs to the phase and not to the card. You can see here, if I open both of the cards in the approval phase, they will have the same fields, which are different from the fields that we have on the screening phase or even on the purchase phase here. Through a card, you can add or edit the fields of that phase by clicking on the Add Form field here and choosing the type of the field that you want. Then you choose the type here, and also you can edit the existing ones by clicking on these three dots here, but still they belong to the phase and not to the card. In addition to the specific fields for each phase, the card also has its attributes that can be added, removed, or edited at any point of the process. They are these ones right here at the top right of the card. And now I'm going to explain for you each one of them individually. The first one that we have here is the due date. The due date is where you pick a date so that the card is considered overdue. So we can select here a due date, and if you close the card, you will see how many days you still have to complete that demand. And by the time that it approaches the date, it's going to be an orange label here. And also after this is past the date, it will become red. So it's really visual, and you can always see this with the closed card or with it opened. The second one we have is the assignees. You can choose assignees if you have more people in your team, and they will also be responsible for this demand. So their picture will appear here, and they are now the owner of this demand, in this case of this purchase. After the assignees, we have the labels. On the labels, you can choose a label to identify even better that demand. Here we have some examples such as high urgency, low, critical, and you can also create new ones, giving a name here and also choosing a color. Okay, it also makes it easier to visualize the demands on your process. Following that, we have the PDF generator. I'm not going to details here because we also have another video specific to explain to you how to create PDFs, but basically you can extract any information from your card and generate a new PDF document. We have some attachments that can be inputted here on the card as well. So once you click attachment, you can upload any file from your computer here, and also you can have specific attachment fields such as any one of them. You have also the checklists, and you can create new personalized items for each card. So you have item 1, item 2, and you can fill these items once they are done. And you can also have the checklist that will be always here for every card. So the difference is that this checklist here is for each specific card, and this as a field will be for every one of them. We can also have comments on our cards by clicking here and leaving your comment on the card here. And also you can use the box on the bottom of each card. You can also mention people here so that they know that you are talking to them, to ask status and make any comment on the card. And we have the emails. The emails are one of the most important feature that we have for the card here, because you can even send emails to your clients, suppliers, or anyone inside your company that is involved on this process. And each card has its own email. So every communication that you have regarding this demand, this request, or this purchase, in our case here, will be centralized on this card. You can have templates to always send the same thing, or you can build new ones by clicking on send email here and using our editor. And you can also have some saved signatures and everything that you can have on your normal email. So this will help you to organize your requests. And the last one here is accounts payable, but it could be any name here because it is a connection. We can have any connections as we want. For example, we are in a purchase process and we have a connection with the accounts payable process. It makes sense. So when we click here, you can create or select cards from the accounts payable so that they are connected and the process makes sense. And each one of these items can be edited. You can both leave it open or not. You can choose to not have labels on this process, to not have assignees or due dates. It's all up to you. And here on the bottom, you can manage your connections. So you can create new connections with new process or pipes in your organization here inside Pipefy, so that you can really have control of your process and operations. Okay, these were the attributes of the card. Now you know the specific fields and also the general attributes of these cards. And you can move the cards through the phases the way that you configured here, and also to choose from which and to which phase the cards can be moved. You can either go in the three dots of the phase here and choose the edit move to, and then you can choose to which phase the card can be moved from the one that you are currently in. And also you can enter the card and go to the move to button. That's another option to move the card, and add the options here that you can also see the same screen. In this way, you guarantee that the flow will follow the way that you want for your process and also have more control. The last thing that I want to show you is that we can have specific fields that are synchronized with the general attributes of the card. So if you choose any one of the same type of fields that we have as attributes, such as due date, attachment, assignee, and so on, I will choose a due date here as an example. You will find all of the screen to create new fields that you can also find more about it in our material. But I want to talk with you with this last one here, that is synchronize cards fields with the fixed field. So if you have this option marked, the same value that you put on your specific due date for that phase will be reflected on the general attribute of the card. And if you don't show this, the fields are not going to be synchronized, meaning they won't have the same value. You can choose different ones for both of them. Okay, so it's really important to know that in order to keep even more control in your process. And I hope this video was useful for you. You could understand better how the card works. And if you still have doubts, you can always look for help here on our help sidebar. And it's going to show you contextualized help depending on the screen that you are seeing on the product. So here you are seeing help for the pipe. And if you open a card, you will see a little bit of the information that I gave you in this video, and you can access it in a fast and easy way. Okay, thank you for your attention and bye.